Hello and welcome. You are listening to the At Home with Ifeno podcast. This podcast is for anyone, male and female, who believes that the home is the cornerstone and foundation of a flourishing society and a better world. Here, we'll guide you through the intricate journey of building a home that's not just a physical space. Whether you are single, preparing to share your life with another, a couple cultivating a shared dream, or parents tending to the garden of their children's hearts. Every other week, we'll talk about topics like practical tips on managing family finances, creating a beautiful home, conversations on courtship, marriage, parenting, and much more. The At Home with Ifeno podcast offers a rich tapestry of inspiration and support. Join us as we explore creating homes where love resides, families thrive in wisdom, and the seeds of a brighter future are sown, just as God intended. Hello, and welcome back to At Home with Ifeno podcast. How are you doing today? It's a great day filled with possibilities, filled with opportunities, filled with blessings and so many things. Don't allow your environment to distract you. Don't allow the news flying. There's so much going on, but if you remain focused on what is your priority, on what you are supposed to be doing, I guarantee you that you would end 2026 on a great note. So it's a great day, and on At Home with Ifeno today, we still have our wonderful VIP guest. She's with us again to wrap up what we started 2 weeks ago about our home and why manners and respect still matter. No matter how old-fashioned you think it is, it hasn't eroded, especially in intentional parents and families. So sit back today, get that sweet spot where there will be no distractions, and I promise you it will be worth the investment of your time. So in part 1 last time, we explored how the tone of a home shapes our homes, our lives every day. It doesn't happen, just with a big bang. It's everyday interactions, the manners, the respect, the healthy communication, they all play a role. So today we want to move from understanding the issue, about why we are not respecting our family members over strangers, why we seem not to follow our structure. We want to see how we can rebuild respectful and a family home, healthy family culture. That is going to be our focus for today. We want to know, how do families restore this respect? How do we strengthen, our children to be polite to even one another as siblings? How do we create this healthier home culture? So today, Mrs. Eniola Onakoya is going to discuss practical steps where families can continue to cultivate honor, cultivate kindness, cultivate that deep connection. And as I said, it promises to be worth your time. So let's give a warm At Home with Ifeno welcome to Mrs. Eniola Onakoya. You're welcome.
Thank you so very much for having me again. Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
You are special to At Home with Ifeno. That's why we want you to come back. We know that you are going to give us that finishing touch. And don't worry, Miss Eniola is going to tell us something about a platform that has that touch of the finishing school effect and much more than, Ifeno is telling you. So just be patient. Make sure you wait till the very end, because that's where the juicy part of what Mrs. Eniola Onakoya does. So you're welcome once again, Mrs. Eniola, and we are delighted to have you. I hope you are doing well.
Thank you so much.
And your family is also doing well.
We're all very well. Thank God. Thank you for asking. I hope your family is doing very well as well.
Yes, we are. Thank God for his faithfulness. Thank you. So today we do not want to, want to go straight into the business of today. Today our focus is rebuilding respectful and healthy family culture. So my first question is, how can families begin rebuilding this healthy communication practically? Today, we want you to be as practical as possible so that our listeners will take the 1, 2, 3 points and then go back and do. Because we know that no matter how inspiring we speak, if we don't put action to our words, nothing will change. So tell us practically how families can begin this healthy communication if they have not been doing so.
Thank you so very much for that question. So to start, I'm going to say that there is nothing that you see that is excellent or something that is being properly done that there was no intentionality about it. So when family wants to get to a stage where they want to have healthy communication, rebuilding healthy communication practically, it can be done through intentional daily habits, not just occasional grand gestures that happens once in a while. So the first thing they can probably do is actually call a family meeting. And then sit down, have conversations, create opportunity for regular conversations without distractions, no phones, no gadgets, listening to each other, asking questions like, okay, what are the things that I do that you don't like? And mommy and daddy has to be patient and ready to listen and be willing to accept feedback. Even when it is pinching them, they need to calm down and accept feedback, especially when they have older children, right? Now, they can also include listening to understand the person who is speaking with them rather than listening to respond. Right? And then during this meeting, they can have agreement of using respectful language, even when they are in disagreement. When they're offended with each other or they're upset with each other, during that meeting, they will have ground rules that everybody agrees with, and they have to apply it every day. If they're younger children, they can do things like giving rewards. Oh, you did a good job. The way you spoke with your brother, you were excellent. You did a good job. I'm going to give you a reward for that. It can be something as simple as a sticker, right? Because those ones are younger children. So addressing issues early also helps instead of waiting for it to pile up, thereby resentments being built. So encouraging every family member, no matter how little they are, the children, to express their thoughts respectfully. So there has to be that intentional family meeting first, where those conversations are had, feedbacks are given, and then accepted gracefully and graciously. And then amendments can be made with ease. So that's the easiest way to begin to apply it practically, because everybody will be on the same page.
Thank you, Ms. Eniola, for that response. At the beginning of your response, you said something about no phones during this family meeting that you are encouraging us to have. Now, in our world today, practically speaking, I have seen how children want the attention of their parents. Because we are talking about healthy communication. How do we build this culture? And we as parents are so engrossed on our phones. And your children are speaking and the children are saying, but you are not looking at me. You are not, the child expects that you should do eye-to-eye contact. And the parent is saying, I'm hearing you. I am hearing you. There's something different between hearing and listening.
Yes.
Please, how will you encourage? It's a big issue. Honestly, this thing I'm saying, many children have expressed it. My mom is not looking at me when I'm telling her something important. My daddy is always busy with his phone, and I'm telling him something really important, and he say he's listening to me, but I feel he's not, because he's not even looking at me. How can parents know that in building this healthy communication, that your body language, that this eye contact with the person you are speaking to is very important? Please, because this is a very serious issue, and many of us are guilty of it as parents. Could you help us to bring more light on why it's important to have that eye contact with either our children, our spouse, or whoever, as a sign of respect in our communication?
Thank you so much for that question. In fact, in etiquette, one of the major things we teach in communication is body language, eye contact, and, practically everything you mentioned and more. So parents are models. And like we said in the last episode, children are copycats. They're sponges. They literally absorb. And parents need to have a certain level of self-discipline, because, we mentioned in the last episode how the digital world has changed a lot of things that we do and how we communicate, how we socialize. Because the truth of the matter is, these are also part of the conversations that can be had in that meeting where they need to re-strategize and rebuild. Because if they keep on like that, when the children get to the stage of when they begin to use gadgets, they will repeat the exact same thing. So yes, I've had times, especially when my children were younger, where they would say things like, "Mommy, look at me, I'm talking to you, stop pressing your phone." So you're very correct. I can absolutely relate to that, right? So now that they're getting older and they're having more important things to talk about and to discuss with me, I have to be intentional, because I want them to actually speak. I want them to know that I am here, I'm present, I'm listening. Right? So there's a level of self-discipline that parents have to intentionally imbibe, especially when their children are willing to be chatting with them. Not every parent has the privilege of having children who want to talk to them. Some children will rather want to talk to outsiders, or will rather want to talk to their peers. And you do not want a situation whereby important information is passing you by because you are not available. Parents should learn to put themselves in the shoes of their children. If I was conversing with someone and then the person is on their phone, do I feel respected? Do I feel connected? Do I feel like the person is present? So we need to understand that even though we're older than our children are human beings as much as we are human beings. They have feelings, they have insights, they are human beings, complete, just like us. So we should, even to the least of them, so we shouldn't treat them as though, I'm listening. There's a Yoruba proverb that says "Ojulo rowa," and that means that the discussion is in the eyes. The conversation is when we are, face to face, and you're looking at me, I'm looking at you, eye to eye. So yes, parent is an intentional thing that needs to be done, because you are modeling. If you do not want your child to do it back to you, because they will do it back to you, just by default, not that they're trying to hurt you. That's what they've seen you do. You've modeled, and then they will follow through. So you cannot expect your child to do otherwise or do better when you haven't done better. So these are part of the conversations that must be mentioned and had, and to rebuild, the communication gap and everything. So they can have a code word, a password. When they agree and in the meeting, they can say, "Okay, we're going to have a password when I'm conversing with you, mom or dad," and then you're just on your phone. What do you want me to say? Just to nudge you, to remind you that, okay, we had a pact, or we had an agreement, or we want to do something better, and then everybody has to be polite to everybody. So you're telling me to put my phone down, that you need my attention. You still have to be polite when you're telling me that, right? So these things are like a build-up. So yes, there is a level of self-discipline, intentionality, and communal agreement that will make this easy.
Wow, thank you so much. A lot has been said just in that response about how families can begin rebuilding healthy communication. And two things I saw there was that intentionality of daily habits. It doesn't happen just at once. And then as parents, role modeling self-discipline.
Yeah.
Self-discipline. And another thing is accepting correction with grace
Yeah.
and love, as
Yes.
in when our children bring some things to the fore and it's just looking at this child is correcting me. There's a way we accept it that will make them still come back to us, that will make them know that, okay, my parents are also displaying respect, because we are being reminded by Ms. Eniola that our children have emotions. The fact that they are little, the fact that they are still young doesn't mean that, we can just shove anything down their throats, and just
True.
get away with anything. Every
Yeah.
little
True.
thing. And I would like to say that if we don't allow them, to share with us, and we are not listening to the things we think are not important, they will not come back
Pass us by.
as yes,
Yeah.
they will not come back when they are teenagers to tell us what is happening.
True.
They will not tell us even when they get to the point where they are wondering whether they should navigate through relationships or not. That's what's going to happen.
True.
So at this foundational stage, for those of us that still have young children, we must intentionally discipline ourselves to pay attention, to respectfully listen to them, and know that that connection is built, so that we are building a healthy family culture that would live and will benefit from it. Thank you so much, Mrs. Annie, for that response. So how can parents teach this without being overly controlling or harsh? Because there's this tendency to say, hey, but I told you yesterday, I've been saying the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. So
How do we put that balance so that we don't tilt to being harsh?
gentle consistency, because children learn manners best when they see them being practiced, right? Parents can explain, the reasons behind, behavior, or maybe demanding obedience, but you will not get as much result. You cannot say something like, just say thank you because I said so. You have to explain that gratitude shows, that you respect others, that you appreciate others. And then correction should be firm, but respectful, because the objective is not compliance, it's character development. So you just model, you have manners, you model consistently. Like you say sorry tomorrow and then you do something wrong, and then next tomorrow you feel like, please, why you? The only way you can shorten the time is if you have that family meeting and then everybody's on the same page at the same time. But if you just want to reroute things and redirect things without having that intentional discussion, it will work if you change and you model the right things. So yes, that's it.
Okay, thank you very much for your response. And this leads us to, what kind of legacy does a respectful and emotionally healthy home leave behind? So many of my listeners might be wondering, what is all this talk about respect, manners, healthy family culture? Can you explain to my listeners how what we are discussing today and what we said last time would help in building a legacy? Because many times as parents, we feel once we leave a house, we leave, cars or money or material things, that is what legacy is all about. How can building this respectful and emotionally healthy family become a legacy to our children?
I absolutely love this particular question, because a healthy home, a home with a healthy tone, like we discussed yesterday, leaves a legacy that extends beyond the walls of the house. So at this point, once the home is healthy, the children will not know any other way to handle things than the healthy way. So even when they're not in the home, when they're relating with other people, be it virtually or physically, it extends beyond and they touch lives, they make imprints. It produces individuals who are able to communicate respectfully, resolve conflict wisely, show empathy, and actually build healthy relationships. And in the bigger picture, contribute positively to the society. Because long after you do not have material possessions and all those things are forgotten, people often remember how a home made them feel. That's why when you're reading some things online, you hear people say things like, they miss their mom or they miss their dad, that they will never forget how their mom made them feel, or they remember the memories. In the same comment section, you will also probably read things like, I never look forward to seeing my father, never again. Oh no, my parents, they abused me. They were so strict with me. They were this, they were that. So a healthy home's legacy extends far beyond the walls of the house. The child, however, the home was, it will make, for everywhere they go, for every person they relate with, for every organization they find themselves in, or every school they are, they will make an imprint on people. But if it's a healthy home, since we're focusing on healthy, they'll make a healthy imprint on people. They'll have healthy relationships. People will trust them. People will want to be friends with them. You understand? So yes, it goes beyond the walls of the house, so much more beyond material possession.
Wow. So our legacy is more on character development. I know you said that during the last, your response, that is beyond just your child or your children complying to what you are saying. It has to do with developing a way of life, developing their life, even when you are no more. When your children have left your home and they are on their own, also cultivating their home. So it's a ripple effect. So the goal is that we will not drop the ball, that we will do our part well, knowing fully well that whatever we are creating in our home, the culture we are building is having a ripple effect to generations that we might likely not even see. So we need to pay close attention and not think, I've done my part, I've paid their school fees, the teachers should discipline them. We are the foundation to the society we are seeing today. Thank you so much, Mrs. Onakoya, for that response. So
thank you,
how can spouses, now I'm shifting away from the parenting part. So like you said, we are the models, and whether we like it or not, spouses have disagreements. There are times when things become so stressful and overwhelming, there is tension. So how will you encourage us as spouses, to restore honor and kindness in our communication, despite the stress and all that, the tension that we are going through? So what will you say, one or two tips that could help couples in being kind and honorable in their communication back at home?
Okay, so first and foremost, you need to know that, your spouse is not your enemy. And then restoration, yes, we're on the same side of the team, exactly, right? So restoration begins when both individuals decide that preserving the relationship or the marriage is more important than winning an argument. Because the truth is, you cannot win your arguments every time. So there are times you just have to let certain things go. And then don't beat yourself over it. There are times you have to have certain, important communications, right? Now, and when I'm saying that, rather than winning an argument, it may involve things like choosing respectful language, even when emotions are high. We're upset with each other, but we're still respectful with how we're communicating. We're not using vulgar languages. We're not shouting. You can communicate without shouting. Listening without becoming immediately defensive, right? Just let the other person express themselves, because it is said that a problem half shared, right, is a problem half solved. That's like unburdening. And then offering sincere apologies when necessary, and focusing on appreciation more often than, the shortcomings, so to say. And then you see that part of giving each other the benefit of the doubt. That's where the Bible talks about the fact that love expects the best of everyone. Always expect the best of your spouse, And then if it has gone to a certain extent and you feel like, okay, you cannot handle it, you may have to seek support or counseling when needed, which is fine. It's also fine to do that, because if it has been years of tension, kindness may initially feel unnatural or suspicious, right? But repeated acts of kindness, can gradually soften or even deeply heal strained relationships, right? So basically, just knowing that we're on the same team is a gradual process. We're not about winning arguments, we're about preserving our home and our relationship, and we're expecting the best of each other. And if you feel like it has gone beyond a certain level, you need help, seek counseling. Healing is very much possible when you have people who are willing to work it out.
Thank you so much. As you were speaking, I started wondering, do you think social media, this so much that is going on social media is gradually creeping in, into our homes, and we are not patient. Everybody wants to express, in quotes, their truth. That's what I hear. Everybody is like, look out for yourself. There are some phrases I hear, and I'm trying to understand what is the underlying meaning. And I think personally that it is gradually creeping into our homes, creeping into our marriages. What do you think about this social media culture influencing our homes negatively? And what would be one advice you would give us as parents, to pay attention and be careful about, how we use social media and not allow it to be the ingredients that might pull our homes apart?
In fact, I totally agree with that. Yes. In so many ways, social media has affected a lot of things that people do in their homes. Remember, we said in the last episode that if you're not intentional about certain things, you will just realize you're doing certain things and you're like asking yourself, how did I get here? Social media often trains people, trains us to consume information very quickly, to react instantly, to seek constant stimulation, so as a result, in real life, when you're not communicating with real people, your family members, people you love, you're struggling with the fact that maybe the response is not as fast as you want it, And this is real socialization where God made us as social beings. So yes, because empathy requires listening, patience, presence, right? So when devices receive more attention than people, family members feel unseen and unheard. The truth is, technology itself is not the problem. The challenge is ensuring that it does not replace meaningful human communication. And on another angle, for example, I have a cousin who back then, I think I spoke with her and then she reduced it. She was always on social media. On Instagram, you could see that she had clicked like on probably like every influencer's post, every Funke Akindele, and all the artists out there. She's clicked on like. Then there's a lot of positivity as well as a lot more negativity on social media. They were probably gisting and having conversations, and you hear her say things like, oh, I'm so scared. I wonder what it would be like to get married. I don't want to have a broken home. Where are you? I mean, where are you hearing all this? You have parents who have amazing. I mean, her parents are amazing. They've been married for as long as I know. She was in the university at that time. So why are you doubting that you're going to have a good marriage? Why are you not seeing the examples around you? You have uncles and aunties who have very good marriages and they've been married for a long time. Because she's consumed a lot of social media. She's consumed a lot of, oh, this person broke up, they're divorced, they're no more together. Oh, this happened, that happened. There was infidelity, there was this and that. So yes, in many ways, social media affects us, affects our decisions subtly. You remember we said influence is subtle. Influence is not something that just jumps on you when somebody just says, Judith, I'm doing. No, it's a subtle thing. It's gradual. It registers in your subconscious. So we need to intentionally detach and have a very, very clear line between real life and social media, because there are a lot of things on social media that are not real. I was watching a video of this Christian couple on Instagram yesterday where they spoke about a couple of years ago when they traveled to the Maldives for their 10th year anniversary. And they said they had a beautiful time. They posted pictures online. It was lovely. There was something they didn't post online, that they had a big fight during the vacation. You know, and they said nobody saw the big fight part, but that they had a serious fight. And what was the fight about? The husband was in the water. I was telling her, come. And she's like, I can't swim. I don't want to come to the deep side. We paid a lot for this. Why can't you come to the deep side? And she's like, oh. And that was what caused the misunderstanding. And it practically almost ruined their stay and their vacation. So they were telling us themselves that there are some parts that people don't put online. You know, there's some parts that people, so you just have the perception, the surreal perception that everything is perfect. No, people just share the part of them that they want you to know. Not every, yes. So we need to be able to differentiate, make up our minds on things we want to do, filter, and be able to just, once you hear a sentence in a social media post that does not resonate with you, with your values, with your spirit, wait to internalize it and listen to it. Just scroll away immediately. For example, there are certain words I have blocked on social media that I don't want to see anything related to those words. Like don't suggest it to me. And since I did those things, I haven't seen them. So just as you're intentional about your familyhood, your parenting, and what have you, with social media, you have to be intentional. And for children, my personal opinion now, do not have any business doing anything on social media by themselves. I mean, if your parent is helping you with your accounts, that's fine. But by yourself, having access directly to social media, they do not have any business with that until they get into the university. They do not have any business with that, with having a phone, even a mobile phone, until they're finished with secondary school. You know, because things are different nowadays. You want to protect and guard your child's heart as much as possible. So yes, social media in so many ways has an influence, most times negative, sometimes positive, on how we handle cultures in our homes.
Thank you. So we are not saying that you should not go online, you know, to have productive work done, but you must know where to draw the line. And our children have to be guarded, supervised. They don't have any business there, because even us as parents, where many of us are still struggling, you know, that self-discipline with social media. So how do you now add that to a child's life that is still trying to navigate their course for life, you know? I see it as a distraction for the children for now, unless it is something parents are involved in and they are guiding the children. Thank you, Mrs. Onakoya, you know, for that response. So now is the time where Mrs. Eniola Onakoya is going to tell us more about herself, her online presence, why you should go to her page. You should go to her page, not those other pages that she has blocked from not seeing. So please, I want you to listen attentively. She will share her social media handles. Yes, I'll put it in the show notes, but I want you to listen to her. She wants to talk more about herself, her online presence, her services, and what she does, to the larger society. So, Mrs. Onakoya, the floor is yours now.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
very much for this opportunity. As you have heard, my name is Eniola Onakoya. I'm a certified international etiquette consultant. I'm an educator, I'm an advocate, and I'm the founder of Posh School of Etiquette, where we empower children and teenagers and adult organizations to navigate social and professional settings with confidence, with poise, and cultural sensitivity. I'm actually a member of the London Association of Etiquette Consultants, and I'm an accredited management trainer with the Center for Management Development in Nigeria. So we offer trainings, one-on-one trainings, group trainings, organizational trainings. If you want to follow us on our social media handles, we are across board. We are on LinkedIn, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube with the same handle at Posh School of Etiquette. Posh School of Etiquette. So just search for us. We put a lot of tips out there.
Yeah.
And you can also contact us directly from our social media handles. There you have it. Thank you.
Thank you, our international etiquette consultant, Mrs. Onakoya. And like I said, I'll put in all the details in the show notes. And I'm sure very soon, Mrs. Onakoya, someone will call you for a training for their office, for their children. She also organizes programs for children. I'm sure something will come up, during the summer
yes.
or yes. And interestingly, it's online. So wherever you are globally, you can always connect with Mrs. Onakoya's platform. So in closing, Mrs. Onakoya, a parent might be listening, and that parent feels overwhelmed. The parent has heard, has listened last time and in this episode, and doesn't know where to start from. It looks like, oh my, where do I even begin from? What will you tell that parent? How will you encourage that parent, those parents can rise up again and that it is not yet over. So this will bring us gradually to the end of our conversation. So what will you tell that overwhelmed parent that is listening right now?
Okay, so dear overwhelmed parents, it's okay. I mean, I'll say give yourself grace, but don't give up. Because family culture is not something that is built or rebuilt overnight. And perfection is not even the goal. No, just start with one conversation at a time, one intentional apology at a time, one act of kindness at a time, just one moment of listening without scrolling through your phone and, applying presence, and just one intentional change at a time. Children don't actually need perfect parents because, yes, we make mistakes sometimes, right? They need parents who are willing to learn, parents who are willing to grow, and model the very values that they actually hope to see in the children. So the fact that you are even concerned about the atmosphere or the tone in your home is already evidence that you're willing to give that change positive. So please go ahead, just give yourself grace, but do not give up. One step at a time.
Thank you for that closing remarks to mark it up. And I just want to say that if you haven't dropped in the comment section what you have learned in this episode or even the last, please, I encourage you to do so. Your doing so will make Mrs. Onakoya believe and know that you were not here and that she was talking to herself. No. I want her to know that I have listeners who are listening, and it will really encourage her to come next time. So please drop in the comment section just one thing you have learned, what you are going to change. Like she said, it doesn't take something so grand, just one thing at a time, and you would see gradual, because gradually that change happens one step at a time, little by little. So please don't beat yourself up, and please share this episode with another parent, another friend. Share it as widely as possible, and make sure you also subscribe if you haven't. So I pray that your home will continue to be a place where love grows, where respect
Amen.
thrives, where every
Amen.
family member, be they your children or you and your partner, become the best version of yourselves from God's perspective. Thank you, and
Amen.
see you very soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Mrs. Onakoya. Thanks for joining us this week on the At Home with Ifeno podcast. Check us out on Instagram at Ifeno17 and on YouTube at Home with Ifeno podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch every new episode and leave us a comment so we can build a strong community. See you in 2 weeks' time.